Railway stations and factory buildings are idling, and all this is because of an unexpected deficit. The Kremlin lacks bearings for the repair and production of railway carriages.
10,000 railway carriages have been already pulled off the route at the beginning of August, and there will be about 20,000 of them under threat of pulling off the routes by the end of August. That is about 25–30% of the entire industry, of all the wagons that are in Russia.
There is no way to repair them. Russian railway carriage repair plants have been idling for several months already, and they also need imported components to function. The crisis in the railway industry is slowing down neighboring industries as well. After all, the Russian railways transport half of the Russian cargo. As a result, millions of Russians will be at the job center by the end of this year.
If for today there are 3.1 million people who are not considered to be employed of working age, Ministry of Labor and Social Protection predicts that this number is expected to increase by 60,000 by this autumn. So from 3.7 to 4.1 million people may be those who will not have been employed anywhere by then and will not receive any income. The estimate is about 4 million unemployed by the end of the year.
The Kremlin had tried to extend the service life of the railway carriage without any repairs for another 2 years, but this did not ease the situation. The deficit in Russia is being already felt. Industries that used railway transportation now are slowing down. There is nothing what can transport products of miners, metal workers and builders for now.
A lot of damage will be done to the mining industry because some development of the boards will be stopped due to the inability to transport products. Europe has refused to buy Russian coal, and even selling the coal that Russia has to the Chinese markets is quite problematic due to the huge shortage of railway carriages.
This is the result of Western sanctions that have been imposed on Russia due to its military aggression in Ukraine. The Kremlin had tried to use the import substitution of bearings, but it lost.
Their import substitution strategy, which they have repeatedly spoken about in the media themselves and at the level of their sectoral ministries, has failed. 50 companies in Asia, even in China, are not able to reorient themselves, and they're also afraid of being imposed to secondary sanctions from both the United States and the European Union. That is, the situation is stalemate. The Russian industry cannot produce its own bearings for the repair of its own wagons, and it is also not able to either purchase or establish its production.
The collapse of the transport industry is a very real future for Russia, given the size of the country, as well as the dependence of a number of regions on the coal and oil in winter. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Ksenia Barvinenko, UATV News.